Hello.
And welcome to
Let the Girls Play. I'm Kelsey Bailey.
I'm Amelia Bain.
And we're coming to you live from Zoom, baby. I'm on a little vacation, a little parent vacation, taking care of my mom and her knee, and also myself by going to the beach.
Are you spreading the word about the good word about the WNBA?
I'll tell you what,
south where you are?
I am, because as soon as people hear that I'm a fan of the WNBA, I have had multiple people ask me about my thoughts on Caitlin Clark. I think I have sort of gotten a little bit of like an elevator pitch, or like, you know, whatever you want to call it, on my POV on Caitlin. And it's like, she's going to be an amazing player in the WNBA, and it's her rookie season. And she had a lot of pressure on her. And then I always end it with, and she needs to gain more weight and bulk up a little bit.
She got to get in the weight room.
She got to get in the weight room. She got to bulk up. Look at Kelsey Plum when she played in college, and look at her now. She a beast.
We need Caitlin at the Dog Academy.
Bow, wow, wow.
That's
yippee,
what it's called,
yippee,
right? Like, or is it dog school? Is it Dog Academy?
I'm
Doggy
not
daycare?
sure. It should be called Doggy Daycare.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum, if you're listening, and I know you are, baby, you got to change your Under Armour event to Doggy Daycare.
Doggy Daycare. We love you, KP. Please change it to Doggy Daycare. We would feel so honored if you could change the branding of your college invitation only little week-long camp.
Doggy Daycare.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about week 5.
Week 5.
Into this dang thing, and we are almost at the All-Star break, almost at the Olympic break. Starting out with the New York Liberty. Let's talk about them. Huge week for them. They had a nice long break in between their game on Sunday against the Mystics and their game on Saturday against the Aces. They were able to rest, recoup, and get ready. But let's talk about that game against the Mystics, because Mima, you were there, and it was Ellie's birthday.
It was Ellie the Elephant's birthday. It was so much fun. I loved it. I sat there at one point and I looked around and people had handmade signs that said, "Happy birthday, Ellie." And I just think it's so beautiful that we collectively accept not only is Ellie real, but she has a birthday and we're celebrating it. We're like playing pretend as adults to celebrate Ellie. I'm a broken record, but if you can get yourself to a New York Liberty game, it is the most fun you can have, period.
I think I got to change my prediction from 6th player of the year, 6th woman of the year, from Kennedy Carter to Ellie the Elephant.
Ellie the Elephant. I know there were some people online saying Ellie was the ultimate Olympic snub.
Truly.
If we're sending our country's best and we're leaving Ellie the Elephant home, come on.
What do you think French audiences would think of Ellie the Elephant?
Part of me thinks Ellie the Elephant is universal, but I do think if there's going to be one audience that maybe isn't here for Ellie, it might be the French. I don't know. You know what? Marine knows Ellie.
That's true.
Maybe that like wins her a little bit of benefit of the doubt with the French.
Maybe
they embrace her. It was the first game of the season I've been able to take my kid to, and she had a great time. She loves Ellie. No matter your age, you're going to love Ellie the Elephant.
Ellie is like Mickey Mouse for basketball fans.
It's like ass throwing Mickey Mouse, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the game against the Mystics, we got the dub in honor of Ellie's birthday. But let's talk about our game. And when I say our, I mean the Liberty, of course.
Yeah, this is a thing we do because the Liberty are our hometown team, but we try not to be biased. However, let's go Liberty! We got the W
Liberty
against the Aces. They came out looking so good, as they often do. And then they didn't look so great for a bit, but they closed it out strong.
As they also often do, I would say.
As they often do. We got to talk about Jonquel Jones' career high performance. I love Jonquel. I'm so happy for her.
She's so solid, and when she's not getting in foul trouble, she really can, and when she is in foul trouble, we feel her presence not there,
Yeah, we really need Jonquel on the floor. Because what do you do? Okay, she's 6'6", so good at finishing around the rim, but then also can hit you with threes. Like, how do you even defend Jonquel Jones?
You don't.
What do you even do? You don't. Yeah. You get her in foul trouble.
She's passing like she's a freaking point guard. Like, she is floor general. She does behind the back, no look. She's doing it all. And I just, her game is so well-rounded, if you will. Most well-rounded. And it's deadly. Especially up against an Aces team whose defense has been incredibly lackluster. I mean, Aces, I love my Aces, but they are in a transition period, I would say, as they await the return of Chelsea Gray, who has now been listed on the active players list.
Both teams were missing our floor generals, our point gods. Courtney Vandersloot's still out for personal reasons. Chelsea Gray's still out for the Aces. So it was, I don't know, both teams didn't have like their mind, if you will. I've heard Becky compare Chelsea Gray as like the brain of the Aces. Like she's like the mind of the Aces. And so both teams were just sort of like playing, I don't know, without a brain, if you will.
They're the scarecrow out there. Yeah, they're going to see the wizard. They're looking for their brain, you know?
We'll talk more about the Aces when we get to their section. But I do want to say LeBron James was sitting courtside in a bucket hat, eating some trail mix.
Bucket for Bucket is alive
Bucket
and
for Bucket.
well.
Inspiring Sabrina, she did have some early threes. For those of you who are new listeners, last year we had a challenge for every three that Sabrina hit in the postseason, we would wear a bucket hat for a full 24 hours.
And let's just say one of us, me, did not look good in the bucket hat.
and one of us slayed.
Yeah, honestly, you can pull off a bucket hat. I look like I don't even know.
I think what we landed on was that you looked like you were in the movie Ammonite.
Yes, I look like an old British lady walking on a stony beach,
eating hard-boiled eggs.
Eating a hard-boiled egg with dirty-ass fingernails. Nothing
Yes.
grosses me out. That's like I've seen a lot of horror movies. That's the grossest thing I've ever seen in a movie.
Stream Ammonite this weekend.
Stream Ammonite today. Happy Pride.
Light week for the Liberty. I missed going to Liberty games. There were no home games this week.
Yeah.
I miss my gals.
Miss our gals. This week coming up at home, they have take on the LA Sparks. So we will be seeing our short king, Kurt Miller, in the flesh, and we cannot wait. Let's talk about some other teams here, and by other teams I mean we're going to talk about all of them, but let's move on to our next team, the Indiana Fever. They are still missing my favorite Temi Fagbenle from their roster, as she is out with injury, but two big wins this week against the Dream and the Sky, and suffering one loss to the almost unbeatable, I say almost because they have been beat, Connecticut Sun. But let's talk about some of these games. I want to talk about especially your best friends, the Atlanta Dream. This obviously a big win for the Fever as they continue to, rack up the W's, and an amazing game from, people were doubting her in the beginning, but she's back, baby. She's playing like the rookie of the year like she was last year. Aaliyah Boston with a huge 27 points and 13 rebounds against the Atlanta Dream. Just really amazing. Great to see her back.
She just looks like she's settled in.
Yes.
Like she's doing what she knows how to do. She's not letting herself get rattled. She just looks comfortable out there. And I think probably some of that is learning how to play with Caitlin Clark, learning how to just get comfortable with this team this year. We love you, AB.
We love you, AB. And another monstrous game for her against the Sky yesterday. It was, people are sort of pitting these two teams, the Fever and the Sky, as a little bit of a rivalry. What we want to call a Midwest rivalry, if we will.
Yeah. Just a short drive down the interstate, I think the announcer said. Yeah.
So short that Melissa Smith was able to drive from Indianapolis to Chicago to watch Dejanay Carrington of the Connecticut Sun take on the Chicago Sky, which chivalry ain't dead, y'all. Drive 4 hours to watch your potential, potential reignited flame, future girlfriend, play some basketball.
The game against Chicago, let's talk about that a little bit more. It was exciting to see Aaliyah Boston and Camilla going at it. They were teammates in South Carolina. There was one sequence where I think Camilla blocked Aaliyah, and then down at the other end, she blocked Camilla. Like, it was just exciting to see.
You know what else we love to see? And I gotta say, this was the highlight of my whole freaking week. Washington Mystics got the dub. They got 2 dubs, baby.
Not just 1 dub. I am so happy for them. All of a sudden, they're back in action. Look at this.
We all manifested this. We all prayed for this. We all put out the good energy to get the Washington Mystics a dub because they deserved it, and they got it. And Brittany Sykes is back.
She's back, baby. Do you know what was beautiful about Brittany Sykes coming back? Is like she came back, was a huge part in them getting that first win. And then she didn't play in the second win. But they still got that energy boost and that confidence boost from Brittany Sykes. And I feel like it's sort of just like they knew they could do it after that. She showed them the way. She was like, this is how it's done, my friends. And then she was like, and you don't even need me. Well, I think she had a foot injury.
Yeah,
but
I think she probably tweaked whatever she already had injured. Maybe she, they're limiting her minutes even in that game that she was back. But whenever she's there, playing amazing, but even just her energy, she's got the best energy. Their first win of the season coming at the hand of Amelia's best friends, the Atlanta Dream. But so exciting to have that first win against the Dream, and then their second win against the Sky. Like you said, Brittany Sykes wasn't able to play, but we had monstrous games from Ariel Atkins with 29 points. And Big Mama Steph got the helmet of honor or whatever they give out after the game for her incredible defense against the 6'7" Camila Cardozo of the Chicago Sky. Shout out Big Mama Steph.
We love you, Big Mama. We miss you in New York, but I'm happy to see you getting more playing time in Washington and being a big part of these wins. I'm just excited for the Mystics. I think it's going to be a different story once they get Brittany Sykes back full time. And we're still missing Shakira Austin from this lineup as well. Such a good player. Come on, Mystics.
They're not like one of my teams, but I love them. I'm rooting for them.
But this is what I'm saying is as we continue with this podcast, I do think slowly all the teams are going to become our teams.
Absolutely.
This is one of my teams, the Connecticut Sun. 3
big wins this week over the Fever. Dejanay Carrington with 22 points and 3 steals in their game against the Fever. And also some amazing drama and acting on the court in reaction to some of the fouls and trying to be called and some of the flopping, if you will.
Yeah, Dejanay, I think Dejanay is not an actor as much as Dejanay is a great impressionist. Maybe like a Daryl Hammond type.
Yes. The Daryl Hammond of the league.
She's doing an impression of Caitlin Clark flopping. Listen, all WNBA players flop. Everybody, you sell it. Everybody, there's varying degrees of flopping, but everybody sells a call every once in a while. So this is not me coming for Caitlin Clark, but this is Dejanay Carrington coming for Caitlin Clark.
And us standing behind Dejanay Carrington. I will always be behind her. If Dejanay Carrington has no fans, I am dead somewhere. Call in a wellness check.
Yes. And I mean, still leading the charge for me for most improved, I think. Dejanay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We love Dejanay. Like we said, big win against the Sky, big win against the Wings. And you know what? Sun's still shining on the Connecticut Sun.
Sun's still shining. And I'm trying to get up to see the Sun play in a few weeks. They play our Liberty. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Nice. Well, we're going to have an on-the-ground reporting from Mima. Can't get her ass out of Mohegan Sun.
I might not even get to the game because I'll be at the Sex and the City slot machine.
The mayor of Mohegan Sun, Amelia Bain.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the Phoenix Mercury. Love this team. Love these vibes.
I've said this about almost every team we've talked about. Love them. Love the Mercury. I cannot tell you the vibe shift this season by adding Kalia Copper, who everybody is loving. It's so many interviews of people being like, I'm so happy we're not facing off against her this season, and instead she's my teammate. Brittany Griner had a great interview about how much she loves playing with Ka. And also our freaking girl, Natasha Cloud. God, she's great energy.
She's the best. She was wearing a shirt with Team USA, and it had the 3 Phoenix Mercury Olympians on it: Brittany Griner, Kalia Copper, Diana Taurasi. She's the ultimate hype woman for her own team and for herself. She's just the best energy in the league. We love you, T-Cloud.
We love you, T-Cloud. Just to talk about some, organizational shifts, the Mercury did waive Morgan Bursch this week and signed Charisma Osborne, who was invited to their training camp at the beginning of the season, a rookie out of UCLA, and just got signed back onto the team. So really excited to see Charisma Osborne on the team. If you all don't remember, her talent from the rookie talent show that the Mercury did was folding towels into the animals like you see on at a hotel or on a cruise ship. And I love that energy. You know what else I love to see? The Minnesota Lynx still getting those dang W's.
Stacking those dubs. I love the Lynx. They're getting my heart. I'll threaten it again. Don't make me move to Minnesota. I'll do it.
Land of 1,000 lakes.
Good malls. Good lakes.
Mall. Oh, yeah. Great
Seems
malls.
like a good place to ride out the climate crisis. Here I come.
It's
Minneapolis, here I come.
Target headquarters.
If you'll have me, please take me in.
Take her in. But some great wins for the Lynx this week. One against the Storm in what I'm calling a surprising fish and chippy, if you will. Two players I would never expect to get fish and chippy because they seem like the ultimate professionals and also ultimate nice gals. Nneka Ogwumike and Nafisa Collier getting chippy during the game. We love to see it.
Everybody has a limit. Everybody has a breaking point. And there is not a player in the WNBA that does not have a competitive energy within them that is just going to pop off at some time.
You're not there if you're not competitive.
These players are absolute dogs, every one of them, even if they're the president of the Players Association.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we love to see it. Let them get a little chippy. Like you said, everyone's sort of reaching their breaking point this season. We've seen it from Jackie Young, the silent player of the league, getting fish and chippy, and now we're seeing it from Fee and Nneka, and I freaking love it. Who's going to be the next person to get fish and chippy? I'm going to throw out a curveball, and I'm going to say Leonie Feebish from the Rookie on New York.
I was going to say, like, Sandy Brondello and Latricia Trammell get into a fist fight.
Fist fight. Oh my God. Oh, I would love it.
That would be an unexpected.
I would love to see Latricia Trammell just throw a freaking right hook at somebody.
You need to see Sandy's breaking point.
If it didn't happen during the finals last year, I don't know if it ever is going to happen.
I know. Let's see. But the Lynx, they also, this is news that came out right after we recorded last week, I think. Or shortly after, they clinched a spot in the Commissioner's Cup. So we're going to get to see the Minnesota Lynx face off against the Liberty. We don't know where.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yes, with their win over the Aces, they clinched the Western Conference to be able to go to the Commissioner's Cup in a game that was really fun to watch because I'll tell you what, Alana Smith had a great freaking game. Love that little Aussie. Let's go. One team not having as many wins this week as the Minnesota Lynx, and that would be our Dallas Wings, who we love and who we really hope their players who are out with injuries will heal up soon. Satu, cannot wait for you to come back after the Olympic break. I think it's going to be a real game changer for the Wings. But they're still having close games, even, without some of their big players who are sitting out.
Of course.
Maddie Siegrist really stepping up to the plate this season. Another contender for most improved player, I would say.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just her second season in the league, right? And she's taken this huge leap. I'm sure these players are frustrated to not have three of their players, Natasha Howard, Satu Sabali, and even Jaylen Brown, who looked very promising in that early part of the season. I'm sure it's frustrating for the Wings players to not have their teammates out there. But maybe the blessing in disguise of this is that Maddie is having to step up and Maddie is going to grow in this time. And when these players come back, Maddie's still going to have elevated and these players are going to be back. It's going to be a different story for the Dallas Wings. It's going to be Trammell time, but a rough week after last week, which was also it's a tough time to be a Dallas Wings fan.
But when you have Arike doing things like shooting half-court shots when it's not actually necessary to be shooting a half-court shot and making it, I mean, we're still being fed. Arike still feeds us with her crazy shots,
Yeah, the Arike girlies we stay fed. We're fine.
We stay fed. We are fine. But really pulling for it. We manifested a win for the Mystics. Let's manifest a win for the Wings.
They deserve it. They're playing hard. They've got some great players.
Yeah.
We love you, LT.
We love you,
Keep
LT.
coaching them up. But let's talk about my best friends, the Atlanta Dream. I love them. They're right at 500 right now, 6-6. It was an up and down week for them, right? Like they had some tough losses to the Mystics and the Fever, who are, not the best teams in the league necessarily. But then they got a great W against the Sparks. It was highs and lows for
peaks and valleys for your best friends.
Peaks and valleys.
But that's what being a best friend is all about. Being there with them through the highs and the lows.
Absolutely. Did I care at all? Like I cared because I know they care when they lost, but was I bothered by it? No. I'm here for you guys. I love you guys.
They're still your best friends.
They're still my best friends. And we got to shout out my Kentucky girl, best friend, Ryan Howard.
Even though they lost against the Mystics, Ryan Howard had a monstrous game, set the record for fastest for anyone to ever get to 200 points.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think that's right. And,
think that's
you know,
right.
we say it all the time. We're not a stats podcast, but I'm pretty sure about that one. Our Atlanta Dream favorites, Tina Charles had a kind of monster performance in one game. Alicia Gray had a great game. They're spreading it out all around on the team. They've got some great players and great vibes off the court.
Great vibes.
The best vibes.
Ariel Powers has great vibes.
I love Ariel Powers. Gamer girl, social media maven. I love you, Ariel Powers. Funny.
Gets a little chippy every once in a while. Love it.
Yeah. Okay, so Tina Charles apparently loves Skinny Pop. I'm going to play this clip for you guys.
Skinny Pop, please. Please sponsor my dog. Please.
It's 100 calories per bag.
Keep going.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? zero added sugars.
So I don't think we have a bigger platform than Ariel Powers or the Atlanta Dream, but whatever we can do in our small corner of the world to help Tina Charles become the face of Skinny Pop, I want to do.
At least get her a free case of Skinny Pop.
Yeah, send her a box.
If
she's
Kayla Thornton can get 10 Papa John's pizzas, we could send a couple of bags of Skinny Pop popcorn to Tina Charles.
I want, like, you know how Asia Wilson's on a Ruffles bag? I would love to have Tina Charles on Skinny Pop.
I think it would be great. They could put it in there right over top of the corn. Just her kind of hanging out.
We love you, Atlanta Dream.
Keep love
it up.
you, Atlanta
Keep
Dream.
the great energy on the court, off the court. Alicia Gray. Oh, there was a funny clip of her getting a little crown, and she did not want to put it on, but she's an introvert. They're bringing her out of her shell.
She's a Jackie Young. She's quiet, but dang, is she good. When she starts getting chippy, my God, watch out, world.
Next year, maybe she goes Jackie Young round. She's talking to everybody.
She's talking trash to everybody. Let's move on from your favorite team to a team that, you know, has become the nation's favorite team, the Chicago Sky.
This team is so fun. They're so much fun to root for.
You're getting entertainment. We've said it once. You're getting entertainment when you're watching a Sky game, no matter who they are playing, because they are coming out and they are hungry.
Angel Reese was wearing a custom Joker shoe in her game against Indiana.
Wow.
With like the Joker smile on the toe.
Oh, that's spooky.
She's the villain.
Yeah.
But we love you, Angel. You're giving us such a show on the court, off the court. Let's talk about the Sky's week. It was a tough week. We had some L's. It never feels like it with the Sky. Like it always feels so positive, but they did have 3 L's this week.
3 L's this week, but they're still, you know, we're still getting great games out of Angel Reese. She's gotten 6 straight doubles in her games, which is amazing to see. Camila Cardozo coming in with a double against the Fever, and a little bit of a starting lineup shakeup for that game against the Fever. Lindsay Allen and Kenny Carter being added into that starting 5. Really exciting. I mean, Kenny Carter's again my pick for 6th woman/player of the year, having monstrous numbers coming off the bench, a freaking spark plug, if you will. So why not have her be in the starting 5?
Why not?
Especially in this, you know, what people are dubbing, you know, the new rivalry team. Let's go out big. And she had a great game. They lost against Indiana, but I still think that she provided what she does, which is a lot of points and a lot of great defense and a lot of energy.
She's so much faster than anybody that's guarding her, especially on that Indiana Fever team. It's exciting to watch her play. She's like putting on a show.
She really, again, it's entertainment. When you are watching the Chicago Sky, it is entertainment. You're getting drama. You're getting high level of play. You're getting a coach that is incredibly passionate, and you're getting Marina Mabry being the little freak that she is. Freak-a-leak.
Little scrappy-doo.
Little scrappy-doo.
I'm not discouraged by the week that this guy had, and I hope they're not either. They've got a great coach, and they've got Camila Cardozo back, and she and Angel Reese on the offensive boards together. Nobody's getting a rebound. Nobody but them.
Between a 6'7" player and then a player that is aggressive like Angel Reese, that's passionate and getting in there like Angel Reese, the best of luck.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Again, we're only 13. We're not even halfway through the games that these teams will be playing. We're not even at the 20 game mark yet. No. So we have a lot to come, and a lot to come from the Chicago Sky. I think after that All-Star Olympic break, I think all of these teams are going to come alive. Peter Frampton, come alive,
Let's go. The second half of the season is going to be an absolute brawl.
It's going to be
so excited.
All-out brawl. We're going to have players that are going to be coming back after their Olympic break. Again, we know Satu Sabali will be back and playing. We might see some other folks who had been overseas committed to their national team coming back into the league. It's going to shake things up, and it's going to get really. This is the pre-show, if you will, and post-Olympic break, it's going to be the show, the main event.
Absolutely. Should we keep it moving? Let's talk about the Storm.
The Seattle Storm this week had a little mix and match, 2 losses, 2 wins. Both of their wins coming against the Sparks and the Wings, and then their loss against Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx, which we have talked about with the surprising fish and chippy from NECA and Nafisa. But let's talk about their game against the Sparks.
So they won this game against the Sparks. A lot of players looking great. There was a moment at the end of the game with 5 seconds left in the game that I want to talk about. Nico Mule gets some playing time at the end of the game. There's 5 seconds left in the game. I think they're up by 16. So Nika throws the ball up ahead to Kiana Williams, who shoots. We're always using the phrase logo threes, but actually from the logo, an unnecessary 3. They're already winning. I think there's like half a second left in the game when the ball goes through the basket. Like, everyone was stunned. The Seattle bench went crazy. It was so exciting. It did feel a little mean. I wouldn't have shot it, but that's why I'm not in the WNBA.
Exactly.
That's the only reason. Because I don't have that killer instinct.
If you only get 1 or 2 minutes of playing time in a game, you got to make those count, because you're putting together a highlight reel. And some of these people are thinking about their future as well. So you got to get on the boards. You got to have a stat line. So
it makes me think of on the Sid and TP show, on the first episode, I think Sid Colson has a line where she's like, do you know how hard it is to keep a job in the WNBA with no stats?
Yes, exactly.
Like, yeah. So good for these players. Nika getting the assist. Kiana Williams getting an incredible 3. That's a highlight.
Yeah, I mean, they were sharing it on like ESPN and things like that. Like, it was a highlight from the game. And mazel, I say.
You do what you got to do.
And good job, Nika, with the assist. Come on. That's a stat.
There was a really sweet moment that I also want to talk about in their game against the Mercury. NECA was mic'd up, and her sister Chene is part of the Big 3 broadcasting.
I try to walk every day with grace, and I gotta say, sis, you're doing it so gracefully as well with the Big 3. I just really love what you guys represent, and it's definitely a part of the ethos of our family and our upbringing.
That's so beautiful.
It's really beautiful.
We love sisters on the show. We talk about the Samuelson sisters facing off, the Sabali sisters. It's so beautiful to see both of these Agwumaque women at the height of their power, doing what they are so incredible at.
Yeah, both amazing basketball players. Both #1 draft picks, both rookies of the year. Just giving each other their flowers at every chance that they can get. And again, I cannot stress why then it was so surprising to see NECA getting into it, because she has these moments where it's like she is the nicest person in the world. She is literally
that's
the sweetest
range,
person.
Okay?
That's range.
That's
honey.
range.
That's
you're
Meryl
warming
Streep.
up for a basketball game. You're complimenting your sister, and then you're getting into it. Fish and chippy. These are NECA can do it all. We knew this. And you're the president of the Players Association. You're getting charter flights. Come on, NECA. We love you.
She said it in the Shattered Glass documentary, but her goal is to someday be the commissioner of the WNBA. I would love it.
Yeah, what a leader.
What a leader. And let's talk about another leader, and that is Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. The Las Vegas Aces.
Just like Asia Wilson's streak of more than 20 points in a game continues, our streak of just talking about how much we love Asia Wilson continues. What a superstar on and off the court. She had a really vulnerable moment in the press conference after the loss to the Liberty, taking such accountability. What a leader. What a great person. I loved that she's like, you guys say I'm the best basketball player in the world. I want to be the best teammate. I want to be the best person. I love you, Asia Wilson.
She has her priorities straight. And I love that about her. Aside from being an amazing basketball player, she wants to create a community and a team that has each other's backs. And I really do feel like the Aces really do. They're always sharing each other's accomplishments. They're sharing each other's highlights. They're sharing all of these things. And it's just really nice. And she fosters such a wonderful community. I love Asia so much. And I think I just want her to be happy.
Me too.
Always.
And I think the sense of community and the vibes the Aces have, I think that's what makes them so dangerous, because even though they're struggling a little bit this season, they're going to get it together. And as a Liberty fan, I'm excited that we beat them, sure, but like it means nothing to me until we do it in the finals.
Yeah.
Until we
get that
when
ring,
it matters,
honey. Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything to
Nothing.
me. I mean, I'll celebrate Jonquel. I'll like cheer for the Liberty anytime, of course, but like the Liberty, they better watch out, because when you have Asia Wilson leading your team and you have the buy-in that Asia and Becky have from all the players on the team, that's deadly. They're coming for you.
It's really deadly. And I'll tell you what, one thing that's also deadly, Jackie Young. We've talked about her so much, but she had a career high in their game in their win against the Mercury. 7 threes made, career high 34 points. She was out the game before. I believe it was the game before. Maybe it was 2 games before. She was sick, but baby, she back. Whatever she had made her only stronger, and she's hitting them threes. And we love you, J.O. Career high, and it's only going to get higher. Also, just want to give a shout out to Sid Colson, who had, again, like, she's been doing so great coming in off the bench, especially in the game against the Mercury. The Aces were looking a little iffy. I would say the energy was kind of bad. Sid Colson came in, an absolute game changer. She shifted the mentality. She shifted the vibe. She was hitting threes. She was, it was just, she brought in energy that I think brought the Aces up. And then Jackie had her career high, and they got the W. And shout out Sid Colson. She's amazing off the bench. She's amazing on the court. Just like Asia is building the community there, so is Sid. So important to the absolute fiber of the Aces being.
The face of the league.
One quick thing before we sign off from Vegas is, again, another little admin update to the roster. They waived Emma Cannon and signed Jessica Carter, who is from, I believe, Mississippi State, was brought to the Liberty, drafted by the Liberty this year to come to their training camp, unfortunately cut after the preseason, but now being signed to the Aces. And she is she's very tall, and I think will be a nice alternate to Asia and Meg Gustafson and Kia. So hopefully this will be a spark to their roster that they've been looking for. But also shout out Emma Cannon, love you.
Yeah, hope you find a spot.
A spot.
And speaking of sparks to the roster, how about a roster of Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks?
Hey! Congrats to Dearica Hamby on signing a 1-year contract extension with the LA Sparks, having an insane year. How could they not try and keep her forever? One player that Mima wanted to talk about, and also that I want to talk about because I'm loving watching her play, Lee Yuru.
Let's
rookie
go.
out of China.
I think we've got a career high for Lee Yuru. She had 18 points in their loss against the Storm. It looked really comfortable. Was just like, I don't know, showing off some post moves that I feel like we hadn't seen from her yet. And there was a really beautiful moment in the press conference after, sitting next to Ari McDonald. She just said that her teammates were so responsible for her feeling comfortable and her performance, and she thanked them, and it was really beautiful. And Ari McDonald looked so happy for her. I love seeing these players form these bonds over the course of the season. It was a beautiful moment.
It was really beautiful. And one thing I want to say about Lee Yuru is I went to the Sparks game when I was in Los Angeles with my friend Jordan. Shout out Jordan, friend of the pod, friend of my life. Jordan,
friend of my life too.
Friend of your
Shout
life
out
as
Jordan.
well. Friend of our lives, if you will. Jordan turned to me during the game and said, I think I have a crush on that one. And it was Lee Yuru. And I said, okay,
right.
That's your WNBA crush, Lee Yuru.
Everybody's got one.
Everybody's
WNBA
got
crush.
one. And I was so happy to be there for the birth of this crush because she did have a great game against the Lynx. And she's a great player. It was just, it made me laugh that I was there for the birth of a crush.
That's beautiful. That's like when you see a couple meet and then you go to their wedding later, you know? That's all the teams this week. That's the week. I mean, do we want to get into what's happening off the court a little bit?
Let's get into it. Yeah, not too much. A little bit of a quiet week after we had that Olympic roster announced. As far as news goes, want to congratulate the GOAT Candace Parker on the birth of her third child, Hart Summit Petrikov Parker, named, of course, after Pat Summit, the amazing coach that coached Candace all 4 years at Tennessee. So a nice little nod, and congrats on the bundle of joy, Candace. We know you're listening. We hope you got our registry gift.
What a beautiful way to honor the legend Pat Summit.
If you were going to name your child after a WNBA coach, which would it be?
Oh gosh, maybe just like Spoon Bain.
That's fun. Spoon Bain's kind of badass. Watch out for Spoon Bain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I have another kid, Spoon Bain. Hello. I think it works no matter the gender.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. And that's the future.
All right, we need to talk about something that is very important to us as season ticket holders for the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty secured home court advantage in the Commissioner's Cup, but will they play it at Barclays Center? Probably as soon as we record this episode, we'll get an email and they'll tell us. But it's unclear. The NBA draft is taking place at Barclays the day after the Commissioner's Cup is supposed to be played. If I am billionaires, Joe and Clara Tsai, I am throwing my money at this problem. I am hiring whoever I need to hire
I'll
to
volunteer.
flip this court. We will go there. We'll do it for free.
I'll take it up. I don't mind.
Yeah, we'll rip the court up. We'll put some tables out. We'll put some flower arrangements on the tables for the draft. Please don't make us go to Long Island for the game. We want to play in Barclays. We love the Barclays Center. We love what you all have created there. We need Ellie the Elephant at home. Don't make Ellie drive to Long Island. Don't do that.
I was trying to brainstorm. I'm like, where else could they do it? And I remember, they had the All-Star game once at Radio City because there was a conflict at MSG, and I'm like, maybe they could do it at like a cool Broadway theater or at Brooklyn Academy of Music where the draft was. I don't know, maybe make a court out of that.
Yeah,
keep it in Brooklyn is all I'm saying.
They need to find something. They need to keep it in the city because a couple reasons. The Liberty earned home court advantage, which means they need their home crowd there. That's the advantage, is having the Liberty fans cheering you on. This is a moment. We're in this moment of women's basketball. Don't sacrifice the Liberty's opportunity to play at the Barclays Center because you need someone to set up tables early for the NBA draft.
Again, I'm unemployed. I have the time. I will do it. Don't threaten me with a good time and access to the Barclays Center. I will do it my dang self. I'll consider it an internship if I get to transition the WNBA Commissioner's Cup game into the NBA draft. What are they putting down? Like a floor and some tables. All right. I could do that. I've moved people into a 4th floor walk-up. I can do it, and I can do it fast. We're New Yorkers, babe.
Lean on your New Yorker fans. They're ready. We are ready.
Lean on community.
Yeah, and Psy family, this is your opportunity to be the ultimate heroes that we know you can be. Throw your money. Take your sweet, sweet money. Throw it at the problem.
Change my mind about billionaires.
Everybody involved in the WNBA is a hero, except who, Kelsey?
The refs.